feels like you're training for something, but obviously it don't seem like you can, get the guy to fight. Tom, we're getting straight to it. I mean, what are we waiting for? It sounds to me, recently I saw an interview where it said you and Jon are aligned and you guys have decided together to allow for the UFC to tell you what you're doing. Is that true?
Nah, man, Jon's retired. What are we talking about, guys?
What do you mean?
Jon, you guys don't follow Jon on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that.
No, me too, actually. Me too, but the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career, we all know. We know Jon's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. The contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So Jon's retired and it's time that we move on.
This is the greatest promo I've ever heard. He just announced his nemesis's retirement. And to add to it, Daniel, he wished him well.
Tom Aspinall isn't holding back anymore. It's made it known that he's finished playing the waiting game with the interim belt. Tired of the delays, the behind-the-scenes politics, and the constant praise for Jon Jones especially. When Jones keeps dodging the one matchup that could truly settle the debate.
Tom Aspinall's the guy. He's the guy.
Dana White says I'm his man. We love that. We love that on the channel.
And what about Francis Ngannou? You having him? You want some?
The day that I start ducking out of fights and turning opponents down and stuff like that is the day that I'm going to retire. So, as I've always said, and you can ask any promoter I've ever worked with, any guys at the UFC, I'll fight anyone, I'll fight anytime, and I'll fight anywhere. Never turn down a fight in my life, never will. The day that I start thinking about turning down fights is the day that I'll retire. So to answer the question, whoever they want me to fight is who I'm going to fight.
To Aspinall, to more and more fans and fighters. It's beginning to look like the UFC is going out of its way to shield their top star. The truth is, if it were anyone else sitting out this long, stalling the division, and ignoring the clear top contender, they'd likely be stripped of their title without a second thought.
It's not about you, Jon. It's not about you. It's not about your life. It's not about your story. If you want to enjoy your life, if you want to be a part of a reality show, if you want to take that money and delay things and hold someone else's dreams back from becoming a reality, that is ducking. That is ducking, because there is a time-honored tradition in this business, in the sport, in combat sports, in fight sports, in sports period, that the whole thing has to move along. It's not about your story. Your story is great and you're living your best life, great. Get rid of that belt. If you want to do that, great. No one will begrudge you. Everyone thinks you've done enough. You've earned enough. You've proven enough. Now allow someone else to have that same story. Allow someone else to write that same story. You are holding him back. You are holding back not only Tom Aspinall, but the rest of the division. So yes, you're missing the point. This isn't about you. It's about the belt. How many more times does Tom have to say he would love to fight him? He would love to be he would love to have the opportunity to be that guy. He would love it. Who wouldn't? But he just wants that belt. He wants whatever that belt signifies, whatever it symbolizes, and what it brings. It brings all the things that Jon Jones is enjoying right now, because if Jon Jones wasn't the most decorated champion, wasn't the greatest light heavyweight champion, wasn't the 2-division champion, he wouldn't be doing things like this. He wouldn't get opportunities like this. He wouldn't get the opportunity to live his best life. And now you are stopping someone else from living their best life. Do you get the difference? It's not about you. And so when the legends fought you, and I'm not even talking about when you were champ or tried to become champ. I'm talking about the dudes that fought you on the way up. The important thing in this sport is the belt. The most important thing to the UFC is the belt. That's what everything gears towards. And they have told us they hate when people vacate the title or don't want to defend the title. Well, that's what's happening right now. So tell me where I've been unfair. Tell me where I've lied. Tell me where I've been biased. I saw some people saying yesterday, like, oh, he just defended the title. All right, Are we going to wait till November to strip him? The fight that they want to book is for November. It's for MSG. If he doesn't want to fight today for November, it's time to move on.
When you're an interim champion, they only make an interim champion when the champion cannot defend the belt. So for Jon Jones, he couldn't defend the belt because he tore his pec muscle. So the interim champion means he should be fighting the champion right off the bat. That's not the case with Jon Jones, right? Because Jon Jones is going to fight Stipe Miocic. So the interim champion is supposed to sit there and wait. But by law, in like the regulations, once Jon Jones steps in the cage, he is stripped of his interim champion because the champion has returned. There is no longer for interim champion. What is the point of having interim champion when the champion is ready to fight?
This is the only sport in the world you can have somebody hold your career back.
Yep. I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything. Just be ready, and we'll just let you know.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of difficult, like mentally, to.
Oh yeah.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and I'm trying my best. Trying. It's tough. As you said a minute ago, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes apart from me.
Exactly. You're in the office cooking.
I train all the time anyway. Just because I've not got a fight doesn't mean I don't train. Like, I honestly can see Jon's point of view. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title, that's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matters. So
you're like, let me do my thing, let me fight.
I just want to fight.
And I think that's the respectful way to go about it. It's like, you don't care if it's Jon, and it's no disrespect to Jon, it's no disrespect to anybody out there, you're just trying to fight. Yeah. I just want to.
But when it comes to Jon Jones, the standards seem to shift. He shares vacation updates, hints about injuries, and talks about legacy. Tom Aspinall is left in the dark. He's the interim champ, the guy who's actually been active, taking out elite opponents, yet still hasn't been given a shot at the undisputed belt. It's becoming absurd. Tom has done everything the right way. He stepped up, stayed, prepared, and faced whoever the UFC put in front of him. Still, he's expected to keep defending a temporary title while the actual champ can't seem to decide whether to fight, retire, or even speak on his future.
I see quite a few people in here calling me a duck. I'm a duck. Call me a duck. Call me a chicken. Call me a goat. Call me a dog. I'm not in high school anymore, guys. A grown man out here chasing his dreams. It's funny that we really live in a world where being called a duck should affect me. Guys, come on.
Okay, so I feel like narratives have been created that just truly aren't there. You can't duck a man that you were never scheduled to fight. It's like saying you got turned down by a girl who you never even hit on. You know what I'm saying? It's like me and Dana and Hunter have never sat down and talked about Tom Aspinall. He's never been on my radar. I mean, just a moment ago, it was him and Sergey that was fighting. And Sergey could be in this position right now, and I would still be in the same place of I've beat people my whole career, and once I beat them, like the show just goes on. I get that Tom is an exciting fighter. I get that finally, after 16 years, we found somebody who's 7 years younger than me and 30 pounds bigger than me. Like, we finally found someone who may give me a great challenge. And everyone wants to see it so bad. But for me, it's like, what is it? What's in it for me? He changes nothing if I beat him.
And of course, it's been pretty interesting, all the stuff that Jon Jones has been saying to the media this week. And I'm sure there's more to come, but check out these.
You're beating guys who aren't even champions, and you consider yourself a champion. He's not a champion.
So Jon said I need to fight more champions, but this is the problem I've got. Jon is the champion, and he won't fight me. And he says that he won't fight me because it's too much of a gamble.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Owen St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith. Be like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And Jon, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of losing it.
Now the tide is shifting. Fans are growing frustrated. The MMA world isn't just questioning Jon Jones anymore. They're starting to hold the UFC accountable too.
Jon Jones's demands of money for the Tom Aspinall fight were met by the UFC. They gave him what he was looking for, and he still said no. So he just doesn't want to fight Tom. They literally, according to Ariel, who hates the UFC, and would not make this up to make them look better. According to Ariel, they actually gave Jon Jones FU money that he was looking for, and he still turned down Tom Aspinall. So it's not about money. It's not about anything. He just wants nothing to do with Tom. Very interesting from Jon Jones. Now, everyone is unanimously in agreement about this, so we see a few comments here. But the problem is there's still a lot of people and a lot of people that are always going to be talking about Jones and not accepting what should happen here. Logic should dictate that Tom Aspinall should fight Jon Jones. And you see by these comments, that's cool and all, but I thought Dana made it clear we wouldn't do business again with Francis. He won't. Dana is not going to accept this. Ngannou coming back to the UFC. The UFC could consider it, but again, he's got one more fight on his contract at PFL, and that just can't be dealt with in any other way other than him actually fighting out that contract. None of it matters if Jones still has the belt. It's just another guy waiting to fight. I know it'll just be another guy in the logjam in the heavyweight division, but maybe the UFC could use this against Jon to say, listen, we can move on from you. But I don't know. They aren't. They're just going to let him ruin. We are genuinely going years without a heavyweight fight in the UFC because Jon Jones is just allowed to do that. We have never seen this before in the history of the sport. This is fucking insane.
Just look at the language Jones has been using from day one about Tom Aspinall. Why would I gamble my legacy on someone like him? Jon Jones, gamble. You win every fight, don't you? You're guaranteed to win every fight. You can beat anyone. Every fight, if you're the best fighting the best, is a bit of a gamble. But you're the heavyweight champion of the world. You're supposed to go on and do that. I've never ever known a champion who tells everyone how great they are and yet doesn't want to fight the best challenger. I tell a lie. Actually, I do remember one time, Tyson Fury, when he did not want to fight Alexander Usyk. Oh, he's not a big enough name. Oh, and he made all the excuses in the world. And guess what? Usyk beat him twice. And this is exactly why Jon Jones doesn't want to take that fight. Because he can see what the fuck is on the way. Jones spent the majority of his career as a heavyweight, boiling down to light heavyweight, beating guys who are actually middleweight.
Is this really about preserving Jon's legacy? Is it a business move? Or are they just stalling, hoping Tom loses momentum so the threat disappears? Because right now, Tom Aspinall might just be the most dangerous force in the entire heavyweight division.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
just won
the interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is, again, the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
Jon was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's
lucky,
a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on him.
well.
Unless Jon avoided him, unless Jon used his wrestling to avoid exchanges.
He's explosive, composed, and built to leave a mark on history. But instead of giving Tom the spotlight he's earned, the UFC keeps him on standby just in case Jon Jones decides to return when it suits him. And that's the real issue. Tom's done waiting. He's not here to hold up the division for someone who won't defend their title. He's not about to spend another 6 months or a year waiting for Jon to figure out what fits his legacy timeline.
In terms of planning forward, I think he means go and fight the next guy. And if you get past the next guy, then it's still your time. But if you don't get past the next guy, as with every other thing in sports, there's always a moment where the new breed kind of comes in and they surpass the old breed. Jon Jones knows that better than anybody. He has surpassed the new breed and the old breed multiple times over the course of his career and his run as world champion. He's one of the greatest champions of all time. He's beaten everybody. He went through the old guard, meaning he went through Vitor. He went through Shogun. He went through Rampage. He literally put all those guys in the rearview mirror. And then he moved on. And he hit Rashad. And then he hit Gustafsson, who was a new guy. Then he hit me, who was a new guy. Then he hit Anthony Schmidt, who's a new guy. And Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes. He hit them all. He put everybody back. Then he goes to heavyweight, beat Cyril. Then he went and put the old guard back with Stipe. He's beaten all of them. He's been constantly pushing back that next wave of challenger. But there's one more wave. Because no matter how many times you've done it before, there's a real possibility that at some point it catches up to you. Nobody gets out of this thing clean. Khabib did it. George St. Pierre had a fairy tale ending. But George St. Pierre still had moments where things didn't go great. George St. Pierre lost to Matt Serra. That sounds crazy. But it's hard to get through this thing clean. Jones has gotten through this thing clean longer than most people could ever imagine getting through this thing clean. But at the end of the day, there's another young up-and-coming guy that deserves an opportunity.
Gain idea. He was the one who delayed till Francis was out the fucking door. He could have fought Francis a long time ago. If he'd just taken the chance of going up the heavyweight earlier, we could have had him versus a prime Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez was 240. Jon Jones is 260, 265. And you're telling me Cain Velasquez was too big for him? What a load of shit. Stipe Miocic could have fought him in his prime, another one who was no bigger than Jon Jones. So when he's giving it the big and being like, oh, well, people always think someone's going to come and dethrone me. And yeah, I get the narrative. That was the way at light heavyweight. There was always that next guy coming up. But you ain't never fought an animal like Tom Aspinall, who is as quick on his feet, who has the speed that he does at 260 pounds, who has the heavy hands that he does. You have never been in there with a beast like that. It's just not happened. I'm not saying that means Aspinall wins, but for people to do the Tyson Fury thing of going, oh, well, he's always won, so therefore he always will win.
Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall. So if you don't know MMA world, sorry to bore you, but Tom Aspinall is UFC's #1 right now. Jon Jones is, he's seen as the best MMA fighter on the planet. Dana White's got a massive for him, says he's unbeatable. Honestly, I think if you put Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall in a room and said one man leaves, I think Tom Aspinall leaves that room. I genuinely do. I think Jon Jones, I mean, I can't badmouth the guy. He's got an amazing record, but he's definitely ducking Tom Aspinall, 100%. And I think he's even said he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall after his next fight. He's pretty much going to retire after this fight, so he's ducking Tom Aspinall. I mean, he can say what he wants, but actions speak louder than words. So there we go. Anyway, the answer to that question is Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is kicking Jon Jones.
But Aspinall, so far, the way he dispatched off
the Russian guy,
oh my God. And he's fast, but he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick. Yeah. And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. Yeah. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt, but Jon is... It's different. Yeah. But I don't know, man. They got to fight. But if they don't ever fight, we'll never know. Because we had that with Jon and Silva. We had that with Silva and GSP. So all these fights we will never see.
When you look at Jon Jones, would you say it's a money thing or not wanting to fight, you think? Or do you think it's a combination?
I think I'm a bad matchup for him, to be honest.
In my opinion, I think it's a huge risk. You're younger, you're athletic, you hit hard, you pose problems. We don't have much data on you. Okay, if I was to fight Tom Aspinall, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, he's very fast, very athletic, light on his toes. He blitzes across the void. So if he gets across the void, can I take that shot? A lot of people have not been able to take that shot. So if he gets across that void, and I get hit, I might go fucking down. That happens, you become the biggest fucking star ever. You just slayed the GOAT. Or maybe he wants $30, $40 million.
Hey, can I ask you about Tom Aspinall real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think if he got in there against the likes of Jon Jones, do you think he's potentially got the talent to get it done?
I think he's got the talent to do it, get it done, but Jon Jones is a savage, isn't he? He's unreal.
What he done against Cyril Gane was crazy, wasn't it? Like, Cyril's a beast, isn't he? Like a fucking monster, and he just made him look like a kid.
I look at Cyril Gane and look at Tom, and I think they're similar fighters, but Tom's just a bit faster. Do you know what I mean? Tom's a bit faster than heavyweight.
And I think Tom's probably got the better jiu-jitsu as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
And better wrestling.
Yeah, I'd imagine, I've not seen loads of Cyril Gane's jiu-jitsu, but I'd imagine Tom's is better,
The best heavyweight MMA fighter in the world. By default, that also makes you the baddest man on the planet. If you were toe-to-toe with with any other man in the world, you could them.
What do they call him? SAS? He's trained to maim and hurt. These people are trained to. They want to render you lifeless.
Completely agree, but I do have a counter argument. We are trained to hurt each other. That's part of the sport. They are trained to poke eyes, knee in the groin. When the rules are taken away, who's to say that we can't headbutt them? If we're talking no weapons, you could get any MMA fighter and put him against a SAS special. 9 times out of 10, the MMA guy will come out on.
Tom wants the fight, the title, and the respect he's worked for. Now, the ball is in the UFC's court either. Make the fight happen, or take the belt off Jon. Because this delay isn't just annoying anymore. It's depriving fans of one of the most anticipated heavyweight clashes in UFC history. And worse, it's wasting the prime years of a fighter. Who's more than ready to lead the division with or without Jon Jones?